Honestly, this is the level of hate that these people have gotten for us. Like, this is the height of it. Let it make sense to me. Let it make sense to me that a honorable black man, responsible black man, played what he knew how to play best, played what he knew is putting food on his table. But the so-called people that were called to come guide decided to act nonchalant towards this man. Because why? This man actually looked like me. Yes, he looked like me. And if not because this was actually caught on camera, if not because this was actually caught live on video, these cops would have literally denied every single thing. Because the moment he did it, he was not playing the victim card. You guys already know that that is what they literally do. That whenever they do something to people that look like me, they now go ahead to play the victim cards. They now go ahead to make it look like you are the one creating the scene. Oh, why are you pushing me? Oh, why are you doing that to me? Oh, you started it. That is just their simple nature. This man is not only losing his job, this man is not only being relieved from his duties, but this man has seen what it simply means to F around and find out. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in today's episode. With that being said, let's dive right into this video. And this is just for educational purposes, right? I stand a chance to be corrected. And thank you so much to everyone watching, supporting, commenting. I love you guys. Let's watch and see the faffle.
Oh my God. Even if you're not a sports fan, you have to watch this. This South Carolina football player, he just scored a touchdown and he's injured limping into the tunnel. It's a gigantic game against the number 3 team in the nation, Texas A&M, and South Carolina takes a lead. But as he's walking out of the tunnel, this Texas A&M state trooper bumps the dude and then tries to fight the South Carolina receiver. Take a look at it in slow motion. The A&M cop bumps the South Carolina football player, and then he turns around and tries to incite a riot. Thankfully, Texas A&M dismissed the cop, and I ain't got to deal with it, but wow.
All right. What that sheriff or stadium cop does right there is unacceptable. I get your team's getting smacked, but he needs to have some kind of consequence. You shouldn't be able to just shove a player like that and yell at the other player and nothing happens. He throws his elbow into 27, turns around, starts yelling at Mike Harbor, telling him to get out of here, get out of here. That's unacceptable. That shouldn't happen.
You guys see the Texas A&M South Carolina game where the guy scores a touchdown and he runs like into the tunnel. And by the way, he strained his hamstring, so he's like kind of holding his hamstring, and his teammates come up, you know, because that's what usually teammates do. They come up, celebrate. That's a normal thing. Depending on how certain stadiums are built, you know, you can run through the whole. And then all of a sudden you see this state trooper walk in between them, like purposely bumping them. And they're like, yo, what the f? And he's like, you get out of here. Just got real violent, like belligerent with them. I'm sitting here like, what the f just happened? I go, yo. And by the way, guys, and then he decided to navigate his way over so that he could put himself in position to bump these dudes like he was a high school bully from the 80s. This shit was so crazy. And then you look on the left side, the one player's trying to move out of his way because they got to get back to the game. And he bumps him, and they're like, what? And he goes, you get the fuck out of here. That was a kind of a weird time to play tough guy, buddy. They're playing a game, and you're mad that they scored? What the f? Or maybe he was not a fan of South Carolina, and he was a Texas fan. That's fine, but what made you do that? That's somebody's. Are you a father of children? Are you actually? Did somebody actually breed with you? You're somebody's daddy. That was some punk ass right there. That kind of sums up what's going on with a lot of white men in America. A lot of you're feeling froggy. It's like you really don't understand that your president's going to get your ass whooped. You think you're just going to go around bullying people because you feel like the walls, I guess, of brown people are closing in on you, maybe in the year 2000 and whatever, there's not going to be a lot of white. I don't know what's going on, but it's like all these little incidents are just accumulating. With it's always violence. You always resort to brute force because that is the European white way. Is decimation, right? Isn't that what it is? Extermination, violence. That's all you know. You're the most violent race on the planet. For some reason, you did some good marketing to make us the scary people, but it's you that's scary. You're the ones that you resort to brute force when you can't compete equally. What was up with that state trooper? Did he play football and not make the team? Did those black dudes remind you of how not fast you were? Now, of course, there are great white athletes out there. There are some, yeah. But did that make you mad? Does your daughter have his jersey on? Is your daughter wearing his jersey? Is your daughter dating him? Maybe that could be it. Huh? When you were playing football and you were in the shower, did you feel insufficient? Huh? Is that what it is? Because that's what it looked like. You trying to be tough guy at the wrong time. You're sitting up there abusing the players when you're supposed to be there in case fans get out of line, but you want to fuck with the people that are actually playing. You old. You're a old. Thank you, Jamaica, for teaching me that word. Old. That's what you are. That was so lame, but it really sums up how a lot of you white men are sometimes. Just racist, ignorant. You just won't get over that shit. You just won't get over it. And it's okay. You can say what you want. I'm ready for the smoke. It was uncalled for. Nobody's bothering you. All right? Nobody's bothering you. That was so ignorant, going all the way. See, now, if these kids were like out of their uniform, maybe coming. Can't wait to hear the comments.
I am so sick of these racist ass people, y'all. They are everywhere and they showing their ass. So it's this police officer who is working the football game, the South Carolina football game against Texas A&M. So he just supposed to be there to make sure no fans or none other of that stuff happens while the football game is going on. So the South Carolina football player scores a touchdown and he runs into the tunnel because it was a long touchdown. He's coming back to the field. The racist ass police officer walks up to him. This going on live TV, y'all. They showing him. You can see the racist police officer goes up to him and bump him with his shoulder like he mad, got his team getting their ass whooped. So he bumps the guy. He bumps him. So the black guy turned back like, what's going on? The fucking racist guy, police officer, just pointing his finger like, we don't know what he was saying, but he just pointed his finger like the black guy was wrong. See, that's what I mean, man. These racist people are everywhere, man, especially down in the South, man. What is y'all fucking problem, man? What is y'all problem? Y'all own everything. Y'all got everything, but yet y'all still mad at the black and brown people for a reason I do not know why. They need to fire that police officer immediately. There's no reason for you to even go up to him. Your job is to make sure no fans come on the field or nothing happen to the players, the coaches, the referees, or the staff. That's your only job. But yet you want to show your racist ass and they caught your ass on TV shoving the black guy because you mad that they beating the dog shit out of your team, man. I'm sick of these racists, man. I am sick of these racists, man. When y'all gonna wake up like, we don't want nothing from y'all white people, man. We don't want to be around y'all white people. But yet, black people is on y'all minds every minute, every hour, every day, every week. What do y'all want, man? Y'all got every fucking thing. All the privilege that y'all want. But yeah, y'all still want to mess with us, man. That guy need to be fired, man. That guy need to be fired, man. I am sick of this, man. I'm just sick of this, man.
Okay, y'all, how about this for a punk ass move and a stain yet again on law enforcement? Yesterday, during the Texas A&M South Carolina football game, as you can see, a Texas State trooper, after a South Carolina player scores a touchdown, runs into the tunnel, and the team goes in, obviously, to congratulate and celebrate with him. As they're walking out, the Texas State trooper shoulder checks two of the football players and then turns around, points at them, and has an exchange. One, this is totally uncalled for and unnecessary, and I heard that he's been removed of duty and there's an investigation going on. Fucking investigation. This is a type of law enforcement person that you don't need interacting with the public on the street, because obviously he has an attitude problem, and once he faces someone who gives him a little bit of pushback on the street, it could go very bad. Just from this exchange, you can analyze and say that this type of officer does not need to represent law enforcement, because that's the type of officer that can cost somebody their lives just because he's had a bad day. So, do you believe this officer needs to be representing law enforcement and continue to be a law enforcement officer, or do you believe he should be relieved of duty and his ass need to go work somewhere else? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to follow.
I saw one of the most pathetic acts of "you're beating our ass on the football field, so I'm going to be a whiny bitch" that I've ever seen from a Texas, I believe he was a Texas State trooper. I saw his name. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to embarrass the man. And I believe cops and police officers are among the best of us, so I'm not taking shots at his ability to be a cop or a state trooper, because that's totally different. But in this moment, his team is getting beat, and this man went to the tunnel and proceeded to look like the whiniest bitch I've ever seen in my life. And it happened twice. There was also a Texas A&M yell leader that knocked the ball out of Nick Harbor's hands. This is a group of people that didn't deserve to win today. I hate that that trooper won. I hate that that yell leader won. But this trooper goes to the tunnel where South Carolina's celebrating, and he sticks his elbows out as he walks through them to get bumped, turns around and stares him down. That man, that A&M guy, belongs nowhere near a football field ever again. He can never work a game again. It was pathetic. It was embarrassing. It was childish. It was awful. I can't believe that we saw that. They threw him out. I think they threw him out during the game, and good for them, because that's the only thing you can do. Get his ass out of there. Like, get the fuck over yourself, dude. This team is celebrating. They're beating your team at the time. Don't be a whiny bitch. Don't do that. Embarrassing from a grown man.
Here comes the next play. Great pass. Watch this track speed. This is awesome. I mean, this is just awesome speed. Now, when he goes through the end zone, right here, you'll see where he is. And notice all the way over here is this asshole right here in his uniform. So the kid goes through the end zone. His teammates go after him. They're celebrating. The cop's probably pissed because he's an A&M fan.
As you can see in that video, the pig was clearly trying to provoke the players. He wanted a reaction so he could paint them as violent black men and then justify using force against them. Like, you can see he ran into them on purpose, and it looked like he was trying to start something from the very beginning. He basically set the situation up hoping they would react. And also shout out to the players for keeping their cool and not giving him what he wanted, because that's what he wanted. He wanted a reaction. And that kind of behavior from an officer is dangerous and unacceptable. Like, an officer who acts like that should face consequences, because there's no real excuse for trying to escalate a situation just to harm people. So the state of Texas, take his badge.
Them kids wasn't paying you no mind, officer. No absolute mind. No mind. Joy. You see white teeth through those helmets. In the moment. And you. You mad. Listen. No matter the outcome of the game, in that moment is where you needed to find the nearest piece of chill, because it was an overreaction by you. No one was remotely paying you attention. You see all that joy? You see how that joy? Oh, don't be miserable. You look miserable. You look miserable. Don't let it be like that. These are kids. These are kids. All right. They were having a good time. Just scored. And you look miserable.
A Texas State trooper tried to pick a fight with South Carolina's wide receiver Nick Harbor after Nick Harbor scored an 80-yard touchdown, and his momentum carried him into one of the end zone tunnels. Now, Harbor and 3 teammates were coming out of the tunnel when the Texas State trooper intentionally bumped into them, then turned around, wagged his finger in their face, and started yelling at them. Just watch. Let's watch it again for good measure. And as you can see, it's a white trooper bumping into a group of black men and then yelling at them. Now, the Texas A&M police force says that they removed this Texas State trooper from duty and sent him home. And the Office of Inspector General for the Texas Department of Public Safety says that they're aware of the incident and they will further be looking into the matter, and no additional information was released. But this is just another indication that the police forces in this country are filled with people who abuse their power consistently. This guy just got caught on tape. I hope he loses his job, but that just means he'll go over to ICE at this point.
Your voices were heard. The state trooper that bumped Nick Harbor during Saturday's game for the Gamecocks has been relieved of his duties. But that's not enough. I want to see him fired because it speaks to a greater issue. That man had aggression in his mind for a student athlete. Now, if Nick was on the street and he wasn't during a game where it's nationally televised, who knows what would have happened? This is bigger than Nick. This just speaks to the mindset that they don't like us.
And you just know that cop said, "Watch your step, boy," even though he was the one in the wrong. This happened at the South Carolina versus Texas A&M game. Go Cox, that's my alma mater. One of the players, Nick Harbor, had just scored a touchdown, but then it appears he got a cramp or something because then we see him limp into the tunnel. You can see Nick holding his hamstring on the footage. Afterwards, one of his teammates runs behind him to check on him, and as they're walking out, this Texas State trooper shoulder checks them and then had the nerve to talk trash to them afterwards, even though they were making space for him. This made quite a commotion in the sports world. LeBron James even commented on the situation with this tweet. That A&M cop needs to be suspended. That was premeditated and corny AF. He went out of his way to start some ish. Do better, man. And they did get his ass, y'all. According to this tweet from the Texas Department of Public Safety, they are aware of the incident that occurred during the Texas A&M football game. The DPS trooper involved was sent home from the game. They go on to say our Office of Inspector General is also aware of the incident and will be further looking into the matter. No additional information will be released at this time. That cop ain't nothing but a bully with a badge, and he would have gotten away with it too if the cameras weren't on him. Now I want to see all of the dash cam and body cam footage of the arrests that he's made since he's been a police officer to make sure he ain't the type to use excessive force. Let me know what y'all think about this story down below.
Look at this unnecessary roughness. I mean, what's going on here? Number 27's clearly trying to do the polite thing and get out of this cop's way, but state trooper decides he's going to be a prick, then wants to turn around and get all pissy with number 8. They should demote his ass to like a school crossing guard or some shit for a couple months. What a prick.
The Texas A&M football team won its game on Saturday, but a moment between state law enforcement and the opposing team is getting a lot of attention. Let's talk about what happened. So A&M played South Carolina. When 2 of the South Carolina players were coming out of a tunnel at the stadium, cameras showed a Texas State trooper walking between 2 of the players, bumping shoulders with them, and then yelling at them. The Texas Department of Public Safety responded to this pretty quickly, posting this on social media. It says that it's aware of what happened at the football game and that the trooper involved was sent home from the game. It also added that the department's Office of Inspector General is going to look further into this. That is the entity within the department that investigates complaints made against the department's employees. Texas A&M police also posted that this happened in the Northeast Tunnel and that the trooper has been relieved of his game day assignment. So we're going to work to learn a little bit more about what comes next for the trooper involved and if there are other responses that need to be shared. So follow along for those. My name is Will Dupree. I'm a reporter and an anchor at the NBC station in Austin, Texas. Thank you for watching.
This is a no-brainer to me. Nick Harbor from South Carolina catches a pass, scampers down the field for a damn long touchdown run, runs into the tunnel because he's holding his hamstring, and then his teammates come to help him because they know that something must be wrong because he kept going in there and he's holding his hamstring. He comes back out. You can see the officer at the stadium walking in between two players and literally bumps into both of them and flexes his arms out before turning around and telling them to get on out of here and all of this other stuff. We saw it. It's clear as day. It's an automatic suspension. The man shouldn't be allowed to work the game again. What you doing messing with a player like that for? Was somebody in street clothes that you didn't know was a player? You knew exactly who it was. You knew it was a player for South Carolina. You knew that, and you did it anyway. There's nothing to think about here. There's no argument. There's no excuse on the part of the behavior of the officer. He shouldn't even be allowed to cover the games anymore, and definitely should be suspended.
Really? Well, that's good to know. I would hope so. I did not see that, wasn't aware of that. Got a ton of respect for the people here in College Station. They it's a first class operation. Everybody from a game operation standpoint, they do a great job and are first class people. So I appreciate them handling that the right way and sending him home.
This Texas State Trooper needs fired 100%. Bro literally was trying to rage bait the South Carolina players so hard. Like, you have so many places else to walk. If I see a group of players as a spectator, as a cop, I'm not just going to go walk through the whole group and then shoulder check the South Carolina player that could absolutely end you if you didn't have a gun. But, like, this is a monster of a man, and this dude just walked right through him. Like, bro is rage baiting to the max. Dude was like, well, he can't hurt us if I just go through there and arrest him. Like, this is absolutely insane. I've never seen something like this in my life, to be honest with you. And by the way, I want to say something real quick. Texas Tech is absolutely so fucking overrated. They are so overrated. People are really trying to say that, like, they deserve the number 2 spot and all this, or number 1 spot even. Like, you guys are so delusional. South Carolina wasn't complete dog shit. Like, they could have won this game. Like, if they weren't absolutely horrible, like, they should have won this game, really. If it was anyone else, you know, somebody that was actually ranked, Texas Tech would be so done.
So everybody's going to try and make this a race thing. But if you look closer, you'll see what's really going on. Don't let the official statement fool you. Something about this Texas A&M situation is way off. A Texas State Trooper didn't just bump into a South Carolina player. He wedged himself between them, pointed at the other one, and told him to come over. Right after Nick Harbor's 80-yard touchdown.
This cop clearly wanted a fight, and the abuse of power was caught in 4K. How do you create a whole scene out of thin air? South Carolina players Nick Harbor and Oscar Attaway are seen calmly walking through the tunnel, and then this cop decides to make contact. Number 27 steps aside, and the trooper still wedges himself in between them, and then throws an elbow, like he's looking for a reaction. He then turns around, points at the players, and starts scolding them like they missed curfew. Sir, you walked into them. And you could just tell he's one of those dudes who still brags about playing football in high school, even though he was probably a walk-on long snapper whose biggest stat was perfect attendance. But get this, Texas A&M released a statement, and this man was already relieved of his duties and sent home. Texas DPS and the Inspector General are now investigating. All that tough guy energy just to get benched by your own department. If this is how he acts with cameras rolling in front of 80,000 people, just imagine how he acts at a traffic stop in Texas.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is George Cook at African American Reports. I'm sure by now you've all seen the video of a Texas State Trooper intentionally bumping 2 South Carolina University football players. And what's so sad is this marred what was otherwise a great game. I'm going to show you the video now, then comment on it. Check this out, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm not going to mince words here.
that Texas State trooper intentionally walked through those two men and bumped shoulders with them in the hope that something would kick off and he could possibly arrest them for getting physical with a police officer. And think about this. He did that in front of thousands of people in the stadium and millions of people watching at home. What do you think he would do to somebody one-on-one if he was to stop them on the road? Now, thankfully, he was immediately relieved of his duties and sent home, and the Texas Department of Public Safety is currently investigating this state trooper. And what's so sad is nobody's talking about how great the game was. Texas A&M was down 30-3 at halftime and came back and actually won the game. But because of the racist actions of one police officer or one state trooper, no one's talking about that. All right, y'all, stop telling us that racism doesn't exist, and stop telling us that certain people have no business wearing a badge. Millions of us just saw proof on national television. All right, y'all, goodbye and God bless.
I guess my question is, if LeBron James didn't say anything about it, would anything have actually been done? Now, anyone with sense or manners would think to themselves that if you see a group of people walking, especially as a team, that you would walk around them. And not only did he walk directly into them, he walked directly into them with force. Now, since then, it seems like the department that the officer belongs to has taken action against the officer in the video. They posted this basically saying that they're aware of the incident and that the officer or the trooper was sent home and that they'll be doing a thorough investigation into the incident. Now, my hope is that all the parties involved, including the team that he's on, the university they were playing at, and everyone else continues to keep their foot on the neck of the police department, and they don't let this go unnoticed and undealt with. Audacity is at an all-time high.
So this state trooper, whose job is basically to protect the players from outsiders, instead clinches up, puts his shoulder into two of them, and then basically tries to pick a fight. And this is out in the public at a football game where it's supposed to be a fun atmosphere. You've no doubt what this guy is like on the streets when there's nobody watching. This guy does not have the temperament to be a police officer.
Guys, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? He just went ahead and just went in between them. In between them. And you want to pass. You can see the level of hatred. You can see that in everything, they don't want us to come out the best. They want us to always be behind them. And the moment we are not behind them, they are angry. The moment we are not behind them, they don't like it. The moment we are not behind them, it becomes a very big problem. That is the level of hatred that they have gotten themselves into. They have decided that every single person that look like me is going to be a problem. Then tell me one single reason why you will grow. Tell me one single reason why you will progress. Tell me one single reason why they will always say, oh, we are all one. Let's be one. Let's forget about the past. Let's move on. Let's continue to love one another. Oh, I don't see racism. Oh, I don't see color. Oh, I don't see this. Where someone like this on a uniform, a cop, protecting, he's supposed to be there protecting to make sure that things goes well. But the hatred inside of him, because a black man is winning, he can't stand it. He have to come and between them. He's even supposed to walk between them and then turn around to start claiming the victim card. Turn around to start making it look as if, oh, you didn't see me? Can't you see that I'm wearing a uniform? Oh, you can't even respect a police officer? Black people will continue to win. Black people will continue to be great. Black people will continue to stand out. That is one thing for sure that I know. You can't stop the flow. You can't stop the shine. You can't stop whatsoever. The more you try to stop a black person from winning, the more you are going behind that black person. except you have decided to bring down your egos and call a spade a spade. In fact, you can see that even some white folks actually fired him for doing this. And I've heard and I saw some update as well that he has actually lost his job. He has actually been relieved out of duty. In fact, instantly he was walked out of that place, according to some clips that we're seeing. I just keep saying it. I just keep saying it, right? It has gotten to that point whereby every single place you're going to, we just have to be carrying camera like this. Because these people will always look for something to put or rub on us. These people will always look for something that will make people say that, oh, black people are terrible. Black people are doing this or doing that. Even when the black man was trying to claim the nice guy, like he was trying to be nice and be like, excuse me, sir. He was flaming up. Yeah, he was flaming up. He wanted to play the victim card. He wanted to make sure he was seen above. He wanted every other person to be like, oh, black people at it again. They are troublemakers. Change. If you're among these white folks that is acting all this Karen lifestyle, change. It doesn't profit. It doesn't pay the bills. It is only destroying you. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah. But let me know what you think in the comment section and leave me your thoughts. Sorry, I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing my videos, and sending super thanks. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. In fact, I can't even choose any other audience than this audience that I have. Thank you so much for always loving me and showing me care. Anyways, let me know what you think about this video. And if you've seen this video before as well, let me know. Bye.